Hey fam, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Princess. I'm an international student living in Toronto, Canada, or Toronto, Canada, anyhow you pronounce it. I live in Toronto, Canada. And today I'm here to tell you that I have my G license, like my full Ontario license. I posted a while ago when I got my G1 license, but now I have my full license. And this video I'm just going to explain a little bit about the Ontario driver's license system and how I moved from a G1 license to a G license, and I didn't have to get the G2 license. So disclaimer, this video is not professional advice. Please still do your research. This is me just bringing my experience in a 10-minute video or less. That Ontario has three driver license categories. So you have the G1 license, which is what I got. That is more of a knowledge test. You just walk into any drive test, go with your passport, go with your study permit or whatever permit you have to be in Canada. You walk in, you write your knowledge test, and if you pass, you have your G1. Easy peasy. That is just the knowledge. And then after your G1, you're supposed to wait 12 months till you get your G2 license. So you're supposed to wait 12 months to get a G2 license, or you wait 8 months if you use the licensed driving school. Then they cut it down to like 8 months, and then you can apply for your G2 road test. So the G2 road test is your regular road test, but now you're just in the streets. So you're not going on the express. It's more like streets. So you look out for like right turn, left turn, and all that thing. And then after that, you have to wait, I don't know, maybe another 1 year. I don't know how long you have to wait. And then you now get, I think 1 year. You have to wait a while, and then you now get your G license. So your G license is your full license. That is like the main license, which I have now. So when you get your G license, when you apply for your G license, you go for a road test, but now you're no longer doing the streets and the inside roads. So now you're doing the express, which is the highway. You're doing more of the highway exam, and they want to see how you go on the highway, how you merge, how you switch lanes and things like that. So because of COVID, some things have changed. Like I didn't have to do parallel parking. I didn't have to do parallel parking for your G test. Let me tell you how mine went down, like my own experience. So I booked at Newmarket because I wanted a particular date and they were the ones available. But then I wasn't eager to go to Downsview where many people actually go to, because the failure rate there is very high. It's so congested and there are so many people there. So I went a little bit out of town to Newmarket, and it was so empty, chill. Like the instructors there or the examiners there, they look like, okay, they were breathing, compared to Downsview that everybody's like rush out kind of thing. So once you get there, there's a designated parking spot for people that are coming to write their drive test. So you park there. Take note of the number, your parking number, because every parking spot has a number. Mine was 17. Know the brand of your car, know the year of the model of the car. So once you get there, you have all that information. You go in. Like in Newmarket, it was a touch screen check-in, because you have to go check in. You go with your driver's license to whatever driver's license you had. So once you go in and it's your turn, there was a little queue, and then you put your name, your driver's license, and all those details. They'll ask you for your parking spot number. They'll ask you for car details and all those things. Once you put it in, it will give you a slip. So you take your slip, go to your car, and you go sit and wait for your instructor. Fam, at this point I was so nervous. Like yes, I know how to drive. I'm a driver, I can drive. But just when you're driving and an examiner is there, and fam, when you're booking your G test, it's like almost $100. It's like $91 something. So I don't want to fail and have to pay that again. And I was sitting in the parking lot, and there was a girl that came in, and apparently she failed, and she was crying in the car. And I'm like, bruh, I really hope that I pass this test, because I don't want to pay for this test again. I was just trying to calm my nerves, and I was like, you can drive. You're a driver. Calm down. So you start seeing instructors passing, like going to other cars, and you're like, are they for me? Is that mine? Is that mine? Because you're like, oh my God, I hope I have a nice instructor. Because sometimes, like, if your examiner is having a bad day, it can affect you. So there was one examiner that came to the lady beside me, and they were like talking about the weather and stuff. I was like, God, hey God, let me have this kind of examiner. Let me have this kind of examiner. Anyway, my examiner came. The guy was strict. Like, when I mean strict, he didn't even smile. He was like, hi, my name is, obviously I don't remember his name because I wasn't even listening at that point. My name is this, what is your name? I'm like, my name is Princess. Okay, you have to show your indicators, like left turn, right turn, match your step on your brake, tap on your horn and stuff like that. So I did all that, and he entered the car. I was like, okay. He was like, okay, I'm gonna test you on your driving abilities, nothing related to your knowledge test. And he was just talking, and I was just shaking my head, like I wasn't even hearing. Like, at that point I was so nervous. I was like, God, this guy didn't even ask me about the weather. Like, are we not going to have a little chat or something? Next thing, you have to sign the waiver and all that. I obviously didn't read it. I just signed it, gave it to him, and he was like, all right, to your left. I'm like, the test has started. Anyway, I moved left, right, did all the turns. I got to the expressway, did the express, changed lanes, and before you know, you were coming back. And then he was like, oh, I think I'm gonna give you the G test. You did very well. And at that point I was like, thank God. And the last part for me to like come in, if you're driving on the express or you're driving anywhere, and you have to do like the left turn, but there's no light giving you the left turn, like you have to hustle for it. Like, once it's green, you start inching forward, and when it's clear, you go. And that was the last test. I was like, God, let these people should not try me. Like, they should not even try to drag road or something that will make me not fail when I can see the center. They've already told me I've passed, and I will not fail here. Well, God willing, I did well, so I passed. And that's how I got my G test, my G license. So they give you the printout, and then you wait for it to come in the mail. So I'm still waiting for that, so I can drive with the paper now and my G1 license, which just serves as a photo card now. So how was I able to jump from G1 to G? So if you're from certain countries, there's something they do like license exchange, which is like if you're from US, obviously, UK, some countries, there's a list. If you have your licenses from those people, you don't need to do all these tests. They just change it for you. They just swap it. But then my license was from Bahamas. I've had over 4 years driving experience there. So I had to get a driving history letter from the Ministry of Transportation in Bahamas, which is like, my husband was still in Bahamas, so it was easy for him to get it for me. So once you get that, you take it to the drive test center, they'll validate it, and then they'll waive the G2. You don't have to do the G2, you just move to G. And I was supposed to do this. I just got my license June, like last week. I was supposed to do this since January, like since last year, because immediately I got my G1, they told me about it. Anyway, I knew about it because I did my research, and I was supposed to do it then, but then I didn't want to drive during winter, obviously. I didn't want to drive during winter, so I kept on pushing it, and then I did it in June. So if you're coming from any country, check if your country is among the ones that you can just switch. And if your country is not among the ones, and you have a driver's license, like a legit driver's license, before you leave your country, apply for your request for your driving history letter from the Ministry of Transportation of your country, and then you bring it with you. So once you're done with the G1, you can easily just go there. As you're paying, you just pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. You give it to them, and then they add it to your account, and then you schedule your driving test online. But then compared to if I didn't give them the letter, when I go online, I would be able to only book a G2 because I had a G1. But because they added that to the system, I was now able to book a G. And that's how, my dear friends, I got my G license. So, and this is just like 8 months, 9 months. I could have gotten it earlier if I drove in winter, but I didn't want that. So yeah, that's how I got my G license, and I hope you do start the process. Like, I see a lot of people, international students, they keep on waiting till they want to get a car to get their license. Bruh, like, do not wait, because if you don't have driving history, like if you don't have a driving history like I did, this thing can take up to 3 years, like 3 years to get to a G license. And if you don't start now, you start later. When you decide to get a car, your insurance is going to be so high. It's going to be so expensive because the risks are higher when you have a less license. So please, when you're free, walk into a drive test center and start the process. Take that G1. If you have driving history, you request it. If you can pay for the licensed driving schools, pay for it, and instead of waiting 12 months, you only have to wait 8 months to now get a G2. And then always check on your website to confirm that the driving school you're going to is licensed and is what they approve. Don't just go and pay because it's expensive. If you have somebody to even teach you, start with them, and you just go to a driving school to pay to just brush up. And then if you want to book your test, I would advise you, don't go to Downsview. Downsview is so crowded. The chances you fail is very, very high. Like, very, very high. Go to other places that are not so crowded. The demand is not so much, and also the time matters. Like, I booked for 1 o'clock, and at 1 o'clock people are like already back in the office from lunch break. School is not on, like school didn't just close. Like, if you book like 3 o'clock, the schools are closing, everywhere is rowdy. So just book, check your timing before you book. Don't go and book during peak hours where you'll be fighting for your life on that express, because fam, it can happen. It's not like you don't know how to drive, you know how to drive, but when someone is examining you, it's different. Like, I was a nervous wreck. Like, I was so worried and scared, and looking at it now, it's like, why? Because I drove in Nigeria, I drove in Bahamas, like, I can drive. So just knowing someone else was there, like, examining me and all that, it made me so nervous. So anyway, I hope you start your process in getting your G1 license, and then ultimately joining the big girls club like me and having your full G license. I hope this video have been able to help you in a way, or help somebody in a way. There was a lot of rambling, but yeah, I hope it helped you to get something. If you have more questions, comment down below. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate, and thank you for not unsubscribing when I was absent, because that's a possibility. But anyway, thank you guys once again. I will see you on my next video. Please, if you enjoyed this video, like it, comment, and share with your friends so we can expand this channel. Thank you. Bye.